Check, check. Hey everybody, welcome to Chat BTC. Just need to make sure that my mic is on. I was just if you got a notification from me just before, I must apologize. I didn't have my mic on and I was speaking for ages. So I had to close that one, delete that one and start fresh. So the thing that I want to talk to you about today is that I believe Bitcoin could be preparing for a big short. I don't know how big it's going to be, but a big short. So I want to talk to you about that. I want to talk to you about how I'm going to trade what I believe is going to happen. And if it doesn't happen, what I'm going to react to make sure that I don't lose money and I still win money. You know what I mean? So the first thing that I want to talk about is this area here. So once Bitcoin started to come down in this area, we spoke about this movement a lot. So as soon as this started to happen and then there was a bounce up, there was an area down here we were waiting for to get into a long position. And so when Bitcoin looked like this, our analysis then was to wait for a C wave move. I'll draw this a bit more better. A C wave move down to here, and we were, if Bitcoin was kind enough to get down into this area, that we were going to get into a long position. And obviously when time passed, the chart looked like this a little bit, and on the final leg up here, the whole world was yelling long, all-time high, all sorts of stuff, right? And I could have been the only YouTuber, only person in the world who was saying this could be the intermediate top, right? So I was very bearish at this point in time. And from here, there were two things that we were waiting for, both short, coming down into sort of this area relatively quickly for a flat retracement, or we were waiting for a double three if it was to take a bit more time and we wanted to get into a long position here. So when Bitcoin looked like that from a long time ago, this is when is this? This is early April. From early April, we were waiting for this position, this long position to get into, and we've been pretty bearish on the way down. So we were, getting into more short positions than long positions. And when this happened, this meaning a new bottom was out, and then there was an aggressive bounce up. This is where I thought, okay, the price hadn't really come down to the area that I was waiting for. But because of the aggressive move up, I thought perhaps a C wave or a Y wave finish just below there, right? From this point, if Bitcoin went up for an all-time high, we couldn't really say there wasn't an enough retracement. I thought, there was enough of a corrective retracement in order for me to be a bit more bullish. So with that analysis, I got into a long position here. And by the way, all of the trades that I talk about my trades, my analysis, and how I trade and how I react when I'm wrong. Everything that I talk about is pretty much public because I live stream a lot on my Korean channel, and even when I'm not live streaming, I'm usually posting up my trades in different areas like Discord channels and Kakao Talk and everywhere. So anyway, so where was I? So I thought that the bottom could have been out. Got into a long position here, took pretty good profit, and I think I must have been stopped out somewhere. And then, sort of contrary to my analysis, I decided that I am now bearish. And the reason why I decided that I was going to get into more short positions is because everybody around my YouTube channel community, like around my Korean community, And every sort of person that I was seeing on YouTube, they were all trying to catch the bottom here. That is a good opportunity for a long position. So that's when I decided I want to be not getting into the same positions as everybody else. I thought a big short could be coming from if this bottom was to break, right? If Bitcoin was to break this level, then I thought it could either go down from here or a retracement up and then go down for a big short. So I incorrectly decided to get into short positions here. Luckily though, so I started to enter short positions on the way up, and I think my average price of my short was about here. And when the price started to dump in this area, I took most of the profit and then had some stop loss set down here. So on the way, when Bitcoin was bouncing up, you know, my stop losses, you know, as in a profit, were activated, and I got out of that trade. So then the other thing that is important here is obviously the bounce up, right? This bounce up was very important for us, and one thing that wasn't clear was whether this structure was a motive wave or not. But what I could clearly see was that there was one move up and another move up, right? And this is the reason why I said to, you know, my subscribers on my Korean channel that I will be looking to get into a long position after this move up finishes and when there's a retracement, right? So and this I was sleeping, I couldn't get into. So I think it was like, this is the day trading position that I was going to get into, and if this happens, that I would get into a swing long. But you know, this happened while I was sleeping, so I couldn't get into that position. But after that, when Bitcoin continued to move up in this area, I saw something that could have finished here, right? And then Bitcoin was starting to move in sort of a triangular pattern. So, and even before that, even before this happened, so when the chart started to look like this, I was already waiting to get into a swing short position up here. Unfortunately, it never came, right? So I had my short position set in this area. It never came, and I was scalping the whole time. You know, I was trading a lot, long and short, and I was telling my Korean subscribers that if there's one more leg up, that I'm getting into a short position, because there's good resistance, and a lot of the indicators that I look at, it felt really good to get into a short. However, it never came to my price, and it started to go down. And there's one thing that I always say, one move that I always look for is a move like this, right? When something like this happens, a big move happens, whether it's up or down, the first thing that I assume is that the third wave of a smaller degree could have finished, right? So in this area, I was looking for a 4-5, and I saw one here. So there was 1-2 and a 1-2 here, and a 3. So I knew I wanted to be getting into a long position, right? So I guess what I'm talking about is something like this, right? And that being the third wave of this wave, and this 1-2 here. And because this is my analysis, I was looking for a fourth wave retracement, which I saw here originally, and then it started to move in a triangular pattern. But whether this was the end of the move or there was a triangle here, it didn't really matter for me. I knew I wanted to get into a long. So here, I got into a long position here. Didn't take too much profit. I was stopped out at a profit though, a little bit of a profit. And then I got into another long position down here. And even though the move up was very nice, I wasn't able to take too much profit with that long position because, and again, I was trading live. It was getting pretty late, so but around here I was going to bed. And when I was going to bed here, when the chart looked like this, I said to my Korean subscribers that I'm gonna put a stop loss here, because if Bitcoin's gonna continue to go up, hopefully this bottom will be protected. However, when I woke up in the morning, the chart looked like this, right? So my long position was, it took profit on my long position here, and then it started to go up even more. So that was a bit unfortunate. And then the next thing that I thought about was, what could this be? So if this move down from here to here is in fact a motive wave, from here to here is hard to know whether this is a motive wave or a corrective wave, right? This is a question that I ask myself all the time. Is this move up likely to be a motive wave or a corrective wave? In the same token, I was asking myself, is this likely to be a motive wave or a corrective wave? So the analysis that I had in this area was that based on a good bounce up after one move could have finished, I was hoping that the Bitcoin price will move up in this area, and then I was going to get into a short position here, right? And that means I was going to get into a long position in this area. And so after this, what I was hoping for was either a corrective move to finish up like this, and Bitcoin started to continue to go up, or the price dump from here like this, dump from here, right? And the reason why I wasn't too sold on whether Bitcoin was going to go up or not is because I didn't have too much thoughts in terms of what this move up is, whether this is a motive wave or not. So yeah, so one move down, I was looking for a good retracement, long position here, short position here, come down, take profit, and go into a long position here. Try for a long position here, right? That was my plan. So I got into some long positions here. I was able to take profits on most of the trades still, I think. I think it was either here or here. I got into a long position. And then when this came down for a low, I was hoping that something like this, I really wanted Bitcoin to come into this area so that I can get into a short position. So I was hoping that Bitcoin will do something like this, but it didn't, and it went down. So in all of these areas, I was able to get into some good positions, but I wasn't able to take much profit. These are all my scalping positions. This is the one Bitcoin long that I got into, I think. Yeah, when I was stopped out. Yeah, I trade so much. And MEXC only shows the last 100, right? So in this area, there was the long. And the long, the 44 is, I think, the long before I got into here. So on and so forth. So I trade a lot, obviously. And yesterday... Oh, yes. Yesterday, I was streaming on my Korean channel trying to catch the bottom here. But after I slept, the bottom came. So this morning, I was looking at this structure. There were two thoughts that I had. Well, firstly, that this was a good move up and this is a good retracement, right? That's the most important for me. So the move up looked to be motive, and I think it could have finished here even with a flat correction and one more move up. So on its way up, even though it looked aggressive, I wanted to get into a short position, assuming that this is a fourth wave and fifth wave to finish around here. But it went a bit longer than I was hoping for. So my average price isn't so good, but I was in a two Bitcoin short here. I took profit of one very early because I was scared that it might go the wrong way. I took my first profit on this retest of the previous high, and I'm still holding the one Bitcoin short. And the reason why I'm holding this is there's two thoughts in my mind, right? And the reason why I said that I think Bitcoin could be preparing for a dump is because number one is this could be a motive wave, but doesn't look it, right? This I'm talking about. That's number one. Number two is this, to me, looks very much like a motive wave, right? So then here, if there was a good bounce up, and if the Bitcoin price came down like this would be an area I'll be getting into a long position. However, the highs were getting low, right? Until this morning. And I was looking for Bitcoin to come up for a new high before I was going to decide what I was going to do. And when this morning, when this happened, this structure here looks like, to me, could be a bearish motive wave, right? And if that is a bearish motive wave, this, even though in terms of price, it's not a bad retracement in terms of price because the bounce up was pretty aggressive. But in terms of balance, it's not looking good because from here to here, it took a long time. And then a few hours, half a day to come up into this area. Can it dump? Of course it can, right? And that's why I wanted to get into a short position. But I think it might even do something like this before it starts to go down. Obviously, Bitcoin can go up from here too. This could be a corrective, complex corrective structure. But one of the things one of the reasons why I don't particularly like to look for complex corrective structures is because they don't happen as often as simple structures. Meaning, when something like a structure that looks like this happens 100 times, chances are, it's probably going to be 80% a motive wave, 20 a complex correction, right? So this is sort of how I feel, and based on my experience, the data that I have in my brain, when something like this happens, is usually a start of something, right? In order for this to be a corrective wave, it's gotta be a complex corrective wave, and the probability of that happening versus a simpler structure, for me, the simpler structure takes my vote. So that's why I think it's either because the retracement in terms of price is pretty good, that it might start to go down here from here. That's why I'm in a short position. Or this structure could retrace and then go up for another high before Bitcoin price starts to dump. Or even if this is a corrective wave, if this is a complex corrective wave that is finished, then Bitcoin can easily go in this sort of structure, right? and then you zoom out and have a look at that, there's not a bad scenario, because if Bitcoin looks like this becomes an area where in terms of risk to reward, a short position has a high risk to reward ratio in this area. Can it continue to go up? Of course it can, but it could complete a corrective wave like this, and then price starts to dump, which means the structure here right now, it looks to be a corrective wave. But as I always talk about, just because right now this could be a C wave, and it looks like the end of something, but it can always be the beginning of something at the same time, meaning this could be a 1-2 and then go down for 3, right? So that's what's on my mind. So right now, if Bitcoin, goes up for another all-time high, is no problem for me, right? Because I will continue to get into long positions here and there, and a majority of my profits will probably come from day trading positions and scalping positions. But in terms of swing positions, I'm in my swing short now. Who knows if I can take any profit. I have been scalping long, so I'm going to hold my short and scalp up. If it goes down, great. If it doesn't go down, I'm going to see if something like this, a corrective wave that looks like this, finishes up, and where it finishes up, I'm going to try to get into another short. And if it still continues to go up, obviously I have to manage my positions and risks and take profit of what I can and lose as least as possible. But if it continues to go up, then I'm going to be looking for this sort of positions in this area to get into a swing short. So right now I am waiting for a swing short, basically, is what I'm waiting for, right? And again, but for me, whether my analysis is bearish or bullish, I'm still looking for areas where I can take profits in. So that's basically how I'm trading, how I'm feeling right now. And so I've got my stop loss, half of my position stop loss set here. I'll probably move the other one down pretty soon as well. This one was set before, but now this bottom has been taken out, which means the only corrective wave that could complete here is a flat structure like this. But that's why I want to be taking a little bit of profit here, just in case, because it can continue to go up, because risk management for me is the most important thing. Or because I believe that this is too short to be a C wave of this A wave, right? There's corrective waves that look like this often as well, I know. But again, coming back to probability, when something like this, when I see a structure like this is usually the beginning of something, and it could correct itself and continue to go down, or do this before the C wave finishes here for another move up, or price literally start to dump from here, right? So that's sort of what I'm waiting for, managing my risks at the same time. So that I've probably got lots more on my mind, but this video has been long already, so I'll stop here. Leave me a comment below if you've got any questions. Like the video, please, if you like it, and please subscribe. I get lazy doing videos on my English channel, but as I get more subscribers and more likes, I'm sure I'll be motivated to do more, because I live stream almost daily on my Korean channel, and I'm always posting in the Discord channel that we've got, and this is obviously free to join. I don't ask of anything, and I want to do similar things on my English channel, but we need people, so please like, subscribe, and whatever else you can do. Thank you for watching. Hope this was, if not insightful, at least a little bit entertaining. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.